Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So I took last week off just because it had been a really busy time. Your boy needed to rest and recuperate a little bit. So we're back at it this weekend with the videos. That said, I am not going to do too much content this weekend, so we're just going to plan is just to get caught up with the Shonen Jump stuff I've got a backlog on, as well as the next volume of Battle Angel Alita for the read-throughs. But hopefully by next weekend things will have calmed down a little bit, so hopefully we'll be back to the 2 read-through videos a week by that point. So look forward to that. There's still a lot of great content coming your way this weekend. So as always, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, it really does help me out a lot and really does mean a lot to me. With that said, let us get into it with Akane-Banashi, Story 77, I'm Burning Up. And we have Mikuru Anisan is a hot commodity, everyone would agree with that. Koguma Anisan has so much pure Rakugo knowledge that he overwhelms even experienced masters. And Kyoji Anisan is popular for his honest storytelling and compassion. And you have all 3 of them. And of course you have the story by Yuki Suenaga, art by Takamasa Moe, Rakugo supervision by Keiki Haishiya, translation Stephen Paul, and lettering Sneeron. So we have Goriko Gordon, and all 3 of them were role models I aspired to be like. So I decided that in the same way this served as inspirations to me. And you see him like when when he's first starting out, he's on the phone saying, "It's fine if the pay is low, I just want to perform." And he does a yo! He's like, "I wanted to be a role model for others to aspire to be like, as a senior apprentice." And he's like, "Anisan, I'm not as good as Akane. I can tell. I've been watching her since her very first public show. Her improvement is on another level. A single event can completely change her entire style." Sorry. This just gave me the chapter title perfectly with this line. But he's like, "Yeah, she's just built differently. And I'm painfully aware that I'm not like her." He's like, "But, even still, I don't want to give up on myself. I know it's just pointless pride, but still, I want to be like you guys. I want to run ahead of my little sister apprentice in terms of skill, and be the kind of older brother apprentice she can look up to. I want to get better. Please, you gotta help me." And he's just like bowing down to Mikuru. And he's like, "Did you have anything specific in mind?" He's like, "Well," and then he whispers something to him. And he's like, "Yeah, I like it. I know just the person. I'll get you in touch with them. After that, it's up to you." He's like, "Thanks very much." And then he just finishes off his drink. And Mikuru's like, "Good on you. You and Akenaru are both taking this seriously." Nice. He goes, "I think it's time I did the same," as he gets up and goes, "Well, graduating to Shinichi." And you see back in the tent with, God, what the hell is Baldy's name? Sorry, my brain is just fried there. Kyoji. Back in the doctor's tent with Kyoji, the doctor's like, "You're awake? Then go on already. You're just suffering from mental exhaustion." And he's like, he's like, "Sorry about this." He's like, "All I can remember is," he just remembers like Akane pushing him on the little cart with the rattle. And he's just hanging his head down, like, "So much for my dignity." And as his phone's ringing, he's like, "Hello? Who is this?" And you have a, "Ha ha ha, can always count on you to project your voice." You have, "That's Master Miroku's voice." And that's the guy with like the spiky hair and like the little curl that we saw way back on all the Rakugo masters like doing the meeting together. And he goes, "I've got something for your ears only. Are you alone right now, Kyoichi?" And you have, "Do you think Kyoji Anisan's feeling alright?" And that's Kane. She's watching a little like firework explosion going off. Going, "Where are the other guys?" And Koguma's like, "He'll be fine. He just believes he imbibed alcohol, that's all." And she's like, "Yeah, I guess." And he's like, "About that 4-person event, don't feel bad for me, alright?" She's like, Akane's just like, "Dot doesn't feel bad for you?" And she's like, "Ah!" And she goes, "See story 54. She goes, "Please win, okay? I don't fit in with them, and talking to a Zenza I don't know. I can't. He's like, "Now I feel silly for worrying about you." And she's like, he's blushing. She's like, I'm sorry. And yeah, she's like, "Good luck in the 4-person event." And he's like, "Thanks." It's after the excitement of the selection round, the Public's interest is significantly heightened, and you see the popular voice actor Hikaru Kuragi to appear. Tickets going at a premium for special Rakugo event. Something event produced by Ike Arakawa. She's like, this is perhaps the greatest chance I'll ever have to make a name for myself. I intend to take full advantage of it. How about you, Akane? Have the clouds lifted from your mind? And she goes, during the selection round I realized something. In Rakugo, weakness can be a weapon too. But weakness is not the same as experience. And the wavering of my emotions on stage and my defeat in competition are all due to my inexperience. It's like, which is why I didn't meet the expectations placed on me. And she goes, not only have the clouds lifted, the sun is out. I'm burning up. Since the selection round, I've come to realize that I want to polish my skills a whole lot more. I'll do anything I can. And she's like, if I want to catch up to Anisan, she's thinking of Kaisei. I was like, it's like to become a Futatsume. And Java, how rare for you to grace us with your presence. Did you feel like paying me a visit, Urara-chan? And you see that Shiguma's talking to Urara, who's like, no, I was just in the mood to wear a yukata. And he's like, of course. And he goes, oh no, she goes, the Kashiwaya Wonder Child was asking me about, was that Rokuro? Or was it the guy with the headphones and like the messy tousled hair? He's like, about Shiguma's art. I think he assumed I would be the easiest person to ask about it. I found that rather insulting. And he's like, and did you tell him? It's like, certainly not. I made up a likely excuse and left him in the dark. I'm not cut out to be helpful. Does that surprise you? And he's like, no. The Urara-chan I know wouldn't have told him. It's like, people just don't change that much. She's like, they don't change, and yet we have changed quite a bit. You see a flashback to all the other Rakugo masters when they're younger, like all having fun, clowning around. It's like, we can't help that. We all rest on a different axis. Our paths might part ways, but we have to keep moving onward or we'll never reach anything. So again, I'll go with, I guess, from the beginning to like the end with some thoughts on the chapter. Not a super lot for me to say. Again, it's like very much a transitionary chapter, kind of setting up the pieces and like moving the pieces around for the next arc. So in that regard, it's going to be kind of interesting to see, like, you know, what's happening, if there's like potential poaching going on with like the other Rakugo masters or things. But yeah, apart from that, like, I did like, you know, Guriko's whole speech about like, you know, how, you know, Akane is kind of like, you know, I want to be an apprentice she can look up to. I want to be like an inspiration to her. I hope we get like more development with regards to him and his backstory, because I feel like it needs a little bit more for me to really feel the impact of him trying to be like, you know, trying to be all humble and be like, you know, can you please help me? I want to get better. I want to be like, you know, someone they can look up to, stuff like that. So we'll see if that happens with that. Apart from that, I'm interested in what, like I said, I'm interested in seeing if like this poaching of what's going on with Master Miraku, you know, talking to Koji or Kyoji and being like, you know, I have some news for you alone. So I wonder if that's tied into what Urara mentioned with like the Shiguma arts or whatnot. And like, now that we know that, you know, these the masters all have history with each other, they're possibly apprentices all around the same time. I'm curious like what that direction that's going to take. Again, I have to go reread like the last arc, but again, the Akane stuff just doesn't really hit for me, because again, the whole time we're just getting the speech about like, you know, I have learned that, you know, weakness can be a strength, but you know, weakness is not experience, and like etc. I was like, I need more experience with like Rakugo with this so I can develop my skills. I feel like a lot of that would have worked better had she faced a significant loss rather than the tone of the end of the last match having been like, oh, you know, Akane almost won if it wasn't just for the screaming audience, like, you know, she gave the best performance out of it, like everyone knows she was the real winner. It kind of undercuts a lot of like the emotional heft of Akane having like, you know, this whole introspective moment where she's like, you know, I want to keep going my Rakugo career, I want to become a Futatsume, you know, I want to prove the worth of my father's Rakugo. A lot of the heft was undercut by her having, you know, barely come in second place in the last match, so that still is just, I think, significantly the weakest part of the last couple of chapters for me personally anyway. But again, apart from that, the story is still good. I'm still excited to see where it goes from here. So yeah, see what happens with the next chapter and stuff. So with that all said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned at the beginning, if you did like it, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it really does help me out a lot. Like I mentioned, look forward to both the Akane chapters coming out today, as well as Kaiju, and then a Battle Angel Alita read-through as well. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.